David thought this was the day his life finally started. He was 30 years old. He'd spent 5 years living like a monk to save every penny. And he was finally standing in a lawyer's office. He was signing for the keys to his dream. A 3-bedroom suburban home with a white fence. His parents called it the ultimate investment. His friends called him lucky. For the first time, David felt like he owned a real asset. He felt secure. He felt rich. But 6 months later, David wasn't celebrating. He was sitting on his kitchen floor in the middle of the night, staring at a $14,000 repair estimate for a collapsed sewer line. He didn't have the cash to fix. That was the moment David realized the American dream wasn't a ladder to wealth. It was a financial cage. In this video, we're going to use David's 8-year nightmare to expose the math they don't tell you and why. Your home is likely a liability that is sabotaging your real path to freedom. David's first mistake was a common one. He looked at his monthly mortgage of $2,200 and compared it to his old rent of $2,500. He thought, I'm saving $300 a month and building equity. I'm winning. But here is the rule David didn't know. Rent is the maximum you will ever pay for housing. A mortgage is the minimum. When David rented, if the roof leaked, he called the landlord. If the taxes went up, it wasn't his problem. But as an owner, that $2,200 mortgage was just the starting line. Within the first year, his property taxes were reassessed, adding $200 a month. Then his HOA fees climbed. Then the water heater died. By month 12, David's cheaper housing was costing him an average of $3,100 a month. He was bleeding cash flow, the very lifeblood of wealth, to maintain a building that didn't pay him a dime. In the world of the leverage loop, David had just traded his most liquid tool for a money pit that required constant feeding. This is where it gets painful. David had put $80,000 down on this house. He called it forced savings. He thought that $80,000 was safe, growing with the housing market at maybe 3% or 4% a year. But let's look at the ghost. Math. If David had taken that same $80,000 and put it into a simple index fund or used it to scale a systemized business, assets that actually produce value, where would he be? At an average 8 to 10% return, that $80,000 would compound into nearly $1.4 million over 30 years. Instead, that money was dead equity. It was locked inside his walls, doing nothing. He couldn't eat his drywall. He couldn't use his kitchen counters to pay for a vacation. To get that money back, he'd have to sell the house, pay a 6% agent commission, and find a new place to live. David didn't just buy a house. He burned a $1.3 million fortune in potential compounding. By year 4, the new house smell was gone, replaced by the scent of damp wood. David realized something most home as an investment gurus ignore. Houses are depreciating assets sitting on appreciating land. The structure is constantly trying to return to the earth. It's rotting, rusting, and breaking. To keep a home from losing value, you have to follow the 1% rule. You will spend, on average, 1% of the home's value every year just on maintenance. On David's $400,000 home, that was $4,000 a year just to stay even. If you have a $500,000 stock portfolio, it doesn't ask you for a new roof. It doesn't need its grass cut. It doesn't demand a $5,000 HVAC system. David was working a 9 to 5 job just to fund the lifestyle of his house. He was the servant. The house was the master. The final blow came in year 6. David got a job offer, a dream role in a tech hub 3 states away. It came with a 40% salary increase. A renter would have packed their bags in a weekend. But David was anchored. The local housing market had cooled. If he sold now, after closing costs and repairs, he'd walk away with less than he started with. He was house-locked. He realized that true wealth isn't just a number in a bank account. It's mobility. It's the freedom to move toward opportunity. By chasing security in a pile of bricks, he had sacrificed his greatest edge, his ability to pivot. David eventually sold. He took what was left of his equity, moved into a beautiful rental near his new job, and funneled every spare dollar into his leverage loop. Today, David sleeps better, not because he owns the roof over his head, but because he owns assets that pay for his roof. A home is a place for memories. It's a luxury. It's a place to raise a family. And if you can afford that luxury, buy it. But the moment you call it an investment, you've walked into the trap. Don't build your life around a building. Build your life around freedom. If David's story shifted your perspective, hit the subscribe button. We're here to debunk the myths that keep you stagnant and show you how to build a wealth system that actually works. I'll see you in the next one.